Have you ever had a moment where you thought you were connecting with an animal? Maybe you felt something or you heard a message, but then your mind jumped in and said, I'm just making this up, or that's not real, or something else. Well, if that's happened to you, you're not alone. Almost every aspiring animal communicator starts exactly there, excited and hopeful, but unsure if they can really trust what they're getting. And the truth is, confidence doesn't just appear overnight, it's something we build through a clear process. And once you understand that process, everything starts to click. And you stop second guessing yourself, your connections deepen, and you finally start trusting your intuition. I'm professional animal communicator Dr. Cara Gubbins, and in this video, I'm going to walk you through the 3 phases of my Animal Communicator Academy Framework, the exact roadmap that I use to help my students go from doubting their intuitive abilities to communicating with animals with total confidence. So let's dive right in. There are 3 phases, and the first phase is what I call the foundation. So, the signature process that my students move through starts with phase 1, the beginner phase. And this is where you'll discover how to automatically boost your intuition, communicate clearly, whether you're sending or receiving intuitive messages, and have your breakthrough animal communication session. Module 1 focuses on using powerful energy tools to automatically boost your intuitive abilities. Module 2 breaks down the first half of communication, how we send messages to animals and everybody else that we communicate with. In Module 3, you learn about your natural animal communicator type and how to amplify that ability and how to access all of your intuitive senses. So you're whole and complete. You have a holistic way to connect with animals and work with them on a bunch of different levels with a bunch of different senses. And then the final module in this phase is module 4, and that brings everything together. And you put all those pieces together, you ground and center, you send clear messages as questions or open ended, like, how are you doing, kind of things. And you have a two-way conversation back and forth intuitively. And there's new skills or tools in there that also help you put everything on demand and amplify everything again. So the focus in this phase is on building your intuition, trusting your intuition, calming your self-doubts, and learning these core tools that you will use for the rest of your career, whether it's amateur, professional, for fun, or whatever. So you graduate from this phase when you've had your animal communication breakthrough session. This is an animal communication experience where you know you did it. You can't second guess it. You can't explain it away. And you know in your heart, in your gut, and in your mind that you can do this. In fact, you just did. It's like a feeling that you just know, like it gets you over that hurdle to be really, really sure that you can do this. It's hard to describe. To me, I describe that breakthrough session like falling in love. Like before you fall in love, you don't know how you're gonna know if you're in love, and then you fall in love, and you're like, oh, I totally do know. Everybody was right. You'll know when you get there, right? In this breakthrough is the same way. You know, because it's all about inside of you and what's going on inside of you. And all of those modules are designed to move you along that path to get you to that breakthrough session where you know you are doing this, that this is real, not for other people, but for you. So that's the breakthrough. And then you build on that in the next 2 phases. So one of my students just said to me the other day about phase 1, I'm just starting out on this journey and I've failed at things in the past, primarily because of self-doubt. In phase 1, I've already learned how to begin dealing with my self-doubt, and now I have steps to follow. and I'm able to proceed with some confidence rather than the feeling of defeat I usually would have from the get-go. So this foundation, it grounds you, it anchors you, it gives you something solid to work with, very clear, very specific tools, and you go through the process and you learn to trust the process and to trust yourself. And that's one of the ways that we're building confidence in the Animal Communicator Academy. So then you're ready for phase two, and this is really about practice and expansion. This is the intermediate phase where you create your own personal animal communication session format. You customize the general format that we use in the Animal Communicator Academy, but you customize it to build on your strengths, and that will serve you for the rest of your time as an animal communicator because you're working with yourself, you're working with your strengths. You're not doing somebody else's thing, you're doing your own thing, but we give you the structure to work within so you find your own way within that structure. This second phase is one module, but it's a biggie, and it's module 5. It's really, really powerful process for gaining self-confidence. And we do a lot of clearing blocks, clearing old patterns, healing old limiting beliefs that have held you back in the past. And the amount of growth and expansion and excitement that comes. I love seeing this. I love watching my students in this phase because they just blossom. Once they've had that breakthrough and they've got the basics down, then you can take that, then they take that and they go in all these directions. They start talking to their pets, they start talking to wildlife, they start communicating with other people's pets that they see out on their walks. It's the stories, the experiences are just so, so fun and so inspiring. So in this phase, the shift that students move through is they go from, am I making this up? Is this real? To, I know I can connect with an animal whenever I want. So that's one aspect of building confidence. We're really focusing on taking those basic tools that you learned in phase one and now applying them and practicing with a wide variety of different animals and building consistency and reliability into your routine so you learn how to do animal communication your way. The way you do animal communication is not going to be the exact same way that I do animal communication. There's a lot of overlap, but it's different, it's unique, it's individual, and we want to celebrate that and make that even better, right? So that you get to be really comfortable doing things your way with your strengths. And in this phase, you get to really explore animal communication in a safe, supportive environment that allows you to play around, to explore, to discover your natural strengths, and then build on them so you can capitalize on them. So that makes you even more effective, and it makes animal communication even more fun. One of my students in phase two said to me, I have more confidence and I trust what I receive from the animal now. I'm amazed by the personalities of the animals and how each has their own way of expressing themselves. And to me, that's part of the magic, excuse me, of animal communication. You discover there's like worlds beyond worlds out there when you can start to communicate with animals, and it is truly magical. So that brings us to phase three, which is where I think we're really integrating and gaining the full confidence. This is the final phase, the advanced phase, and this is where you use your animal communication skills to partner with animals and people to resolve any challenges that they're facing, like behavioral issues or medical issues, or a pet gets lost or separated, aging, even end of life. You'll also, in this phase, learn how to communicate with pets who have passed so that you can help their families heal from their loss and move through their natural grief that they're going to be experiencing. So the focus here in phase three is really on bringing everything together, trusting the messages without second guessing, gaining the confidence, and feeling really um, well provided for whatever situation you find yourself in. So you can feel comfortable and confident in any of the situations that animal communicators commonly find themselves in. The shift that's happening here is that students move from I can do this, but I'm still nervous about some parts of animal communication to I'm confident I can do this. And I can do this in any situation. And I can make a difference for animals and for people. And that's just huge. That's why we do this. That's the impact we want to have. And that's the connection we want to have. And we want to be an open, clear channel. And each of these phases gradually moves us in that direction. And I talk about this in a lot of other videos, the mindset piece that's built in. Each one of those phases has different mindset challenges that we all have to go through and heal. And that's what also helps us gain confidence and become really clear channels for those intuitive messages from the animals. One of my graduates, Lauren, says, Your system works. She says, Cara, you believed in me and my success from day one. You saw me from the beginning and allowed me to step into becoming the animal communicator you already knew was inside of me. Thank you. And that's the vision that I hold for every single one of my students. I know you have this ability inside of you. I know you're hardwired to be able to do this. We have this, rough path laid out that we all go through these phases in this order, and we all have to do these certain things. The way that it happens for each person is a little bit different. It takes some people longer to do this part and not as long to do this other part, and vice versa for somebody else. But there is an animal communicator inside of you, ready to go, and we are just going to unleash that inner animal communicator that's already there. So, those are the three phases. And the other way that I teach animal communication is that I give my students lifetime access to everything because I believe in being learner centered in my teaching. And that means that everything in the Animal Communicator Academy is created with the learner in mind, not the teacher. All of the curriculum is available on demand 24/7 with lifetime access to all of the lessons and all of the supplemental materials like workbooks, guided meditations, all kinds of stuff. There's a million things in there, I swear. And the biggest thing that my students keep saying, Cara, you have to tell people about this. Cara, you have to tell them because nobody else does this. This is so amazing. All of my students get lifetime access to all of the live calls. Right now, there's 3 live calls with me. We have a community study hall. We have volunteer-led practice sessions for intermediate and advanced students. I think we have 6 or 7 of those every month. We just have so much community involvement and community support. And that's, the other piece of the teaching puzzle is the community that has come together in the Animal Communicator Academy is second to none and so generous and so supportive. And so we have a lot of opportunities because the community is so connected and the students want to help each other. So not only do you have lifetime access to me, lifetime access to the material, lifetime access to live calls, you also get lifetime access to this incredible support group of your fellow animal communicators. So there's no deadlines. There's no missing out because you had to work or you got sick or you just wanted to travel. Everything is included with lifetime access for one low price in the Animal Communicator Academy. And like just yesterday, one of my students completed module 3, so she's in the beginner phase. And she said, It's taken me so long to complete this module. I had to start over twice because of life getting in the way. And I so appreciate that the Animal Communicator Academy is set up in a way that accommodates life. If this were a class I had to keep up with, I would have been in really bad shape a couple of times because of time and physical limitations. I'm sure having classmates and a deadline might have pushed me on, but having learned both ways, I'm loving this method. And the Q&As and the practices keep me moving forward and inspired. So I'm very proud of the Animal Communicator Academy, and I've taken everything that I've learned from, all of my science degrees, all of my training, my adult education training. I've gone to graduate school to learn how to be an effective teacher for adults because it's very different from younger people. And I have a master's degree in spiritual psychology. And so I've integrated everything I've learned from all those different places into one cohesive program that supports students in a reliable, structured way with a proven format, but also allows for customization and individualization because every person is unique and every one of us needs to find who we are, how we do animal communication. So, this is a safe, structured, reliable way to learn animal communication and gain the skills and experience and confidence that you want and need at your own pace. Confidence doesn't come from being born with a special gift. It comes from following a proven framework with step by step directions. One of my students recently said, with every lesson I complete, my confidence grows tremendously. I really appreciate how everything is broken down with each lesson and giving me a foundation to build upon. Thank you, Cara. So it's not crossing your fingers and hoping it works. It's not shooting in the dark. It's a proven roadmap that has been effective for all kinds of learners in all different countries, all different ages, backgrounds. Our student population is just so varied, but the one thing that they have in common is their big hearts, their love for animals, their determination to become confident animal communicators, and their willingness to support each other. So I just want you to know that if you've been doubting yourself, I want you to know that this path is available for you too. You can become a confident animal communicator. And in fact, I want to invite you to my Confident Animal Communicator Masterclass. In this free masterclass, I'm going to go even deeper into these phases, and I'm also going to share the number one mindset shift that helps my students accelerate their progress. So, if you're ready to stop second guessing yourself and finally feel confident, then there's a link either in the show notes or in the description. And come and join me and let's meet and let's talk about learning animal communication. If there's a topic that you want me to address, please let me know in the comments. And if you know right now that you're ready for me to be your animal communication mentor, then please join me in the Animal Communicator Academy and become a confident animal communicator. There's a link below, but you can go to caragubbins.com/ACA and get started right away. So, thank you for being the animal lover that you are. And if you have a dream of becoming a confident animal communicator, know that it's possible. I'm here to support you if that calls to you. I would love to be your mentor. Have a beautiful day.